let us do a poem. I think all of you are aware of the poem because I have already read the poem for you, making it an aspect of listening delight. But this is a very famous poem, a famous poet, and I like this poem very much. Okay, so I'll just read to the poem once first. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both, and be one traveller. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, the passing there had borne them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. See what a beautiful poem, what a philosophy the poet has put across. And it has a reflective tone. It's also inspiring because it tells us that he has made a decision, and decision making is quite a difficult task. Because the decision making, first of all, brings to our mind the goal that we have to reach to. It brings to us our caliber to walk the path to reach the goal. Again, it tells us to weigh the pros and cons of the situation and then go ahead. And also tells us as to how we have to discipline ourselves, dedicate ourselves, and also reach to that level of thought-making process. I've just read the poem for you. Now let's study it stanza by stanza, because there's a lot of profound thought in the poem, and the way in which Robert Frost expresses himself is just astounding. You've read his other poem, And Miles to Go. The last stanza says, and the woods are deep and dark, and I have to, before I sleep, I have miles and miles to go. Just imagine. I mean, his thought. He's there in the woods between the frozen lake and the deep woods. And yet his thoughts are about what he has to think about in the future. Beautiful. Okay. Now let's take the first stanza. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveller. Long I stood and looked down as far as I could, miles and miles to go, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Now see, he's contemplating. You have to make a decision, but before you make a decision, you always weigh the pros and the cons. So he's contemplating which road to take. He's weighing the pros and the cons. And decision making is not a simple thing. If you're asked to write a paragraph about decision making, just jot down all the points that you need to make a paragraph about. Now, first of all, your thought will be about the ultimate goal. Because how to reach the ultimate goal, what exactly has to be done, what aspects have to be considered. So first of all, your goal is the important thing, the ultimate goal. Now, while you're reaching the goal, there are a lot of things that you have to overcome. Okay? A lot of aspects which you have to think about and you have to overcome. Maybe they are you have to measure your drawbacks, your good aspects, but yet all the obstructions that come in the way have to be overcome. Okay? So, Now all this is okay, but then you have to work yourself towards the goal, thinking or taking into account your caliber, your capability. Because sometimes you are capable of a lot of things, but remember that as you're walking along, you get those experiences, and experiences make you much wiser. So experience is the best teacher. So therefore, you weigh your capability, your caliber, and then work yourself towards your goal. So your capability or your caliber. Now, as you're going along, it so happens that you have certain things that you can do easily, certain things that take some time to think over and to work over. But you should understand your likes and dislikes. Now here he says 2 roads diverge in the woods. And he stood there, he looked as far as he could. But he did not take the road that was traversed by everybody. He did not take to the beaten path. Now what we normally do is, everyone is doing it, so let me do it. My friend is choosing economics, so I'll take economics. My friend goes for science, so I take science. But I have not measured my caliber, my capability, whether I can do economics or whether I can do science. So therefore, you have to understand your likes and dislikes according to your caliber. So the next aspect is to measure your likes and dislikes. So he went. 2 roads diverged in the yellow wood. Why was the wood yellow? Was it painted yellow? Because normally the trees are full of green leaves. But here it may have been autumn. So during autumn the leaves fall off. And before the leaf falls off, it becomes yellow and then it drops off. See, nature's way of trying to grow and grow further. So 2 roads diverged. Okay? They were in different ways. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. And sorry. Why did he say sorry? Because he could not travel both the roads. He has to make his choice. And therefore he's contemplating. He's making his decision. I have to make a choice, either this or that. And sorry, I could not travel both. Not possible, because you can only traverse one road at a time. You cannot keep your, they say, don't keep your feet on both the stones. You definitely can't walk. So therefore, you have to choose only the right path which you can take and traverse by. But the excellent person was thinking. He said, everyone goes by this way. Why should I take that? Let me choose the other way. So, sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveler. Yes, definitely. Because you have to be 2 travelers who travel 2 roads. You're only one traveler. So you can take only one road. And he has not chosen the beaten path. Long I stood and looked down as far as I could. Deciding. What can I do? How can I do? Will I be able to do? So many questions. So he was thinking for a long time, and he looked, I have to reach my goal. But then to reach my goal, I have to do it in a proper way, thinking of how easily can I overcome difficulties and reach my goal. To where it bent in the undergrowth. Undergrowth means there's a lot of growth over there, and if you go there, then maybe there you can see the rest of the path that goes ahead. Because you know that in the woods, there's a lot of overgrowth and all these shrubs are covering most of the place. But if it is a trodden path, then maybe there's nothing that grows there and the path carries along. I remember reading about a poem long ago. It's about the calf path. The calf went along that small path. It's a small path, and slowly that path became a big expressway of that metropolis, because it was expanding and expanding and expanding. So over the years, things expand, they grow. So now understood the likes and dislikes and carried on, not taking the beaten path. Okay, so he wanted to be himself. He was an individual in his own capacity. An individual in his own capacity. So he did not want to imitate. I'm going to do it because I want to do it according to my caliber. I'm not going to imitate anyone. And therefore, I have not chosen the beaten path. Okay? So it's a traveler's choice. And therefore, there's reflection. So coming back to decision making. Ultimate goal, possible difficulties, capability caliber, the likes and dislikes, and of course, it depends on your skills and talents also. If there's no path that can be walked up, you take a scythe or something and you remove that undergrowth. So your skill and your talent, because it's not easy, it's quite difficult. And last but not the least, you have to study exactly your own job profile to go along that path. So decision making is not an easy task. So if you have all these points and you're asked to write a paragraph on decision making, this is an introspective part of the poem. Keep these points in mind and write your paragraph on decision making. So I hope the first stanza is quite clear. Okay, he stood at the fork of the road, and there were two paths that diverged, and he said, sorry, I will not be able to take both the paths, I can choose only one. And he did not imitate, he did not take the beaten path, not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood. He didn't jump at his decision. He weighed the pros and cons and then made the decision. And then he looked as far as he could and said, yes, I will take this road, and to where it bent in the undergrowth. Because in the undergrowth, he could not see how the road went further. But yet he decided that I will take this road and I will travel this road. So the traveler's choice is very, very important. Okay? Right. Now let's go to the next paragraph. Then took the other as just as fair. He weighed both the things, the possibilities, and then he chose the other just as fair. Why did he say just as fair? Because it was fair enough. It could be either this or it could be that. It was fair enough. So just as fair, because according to the rules and regulations, weighing the pros and cons, he said, it is just as fair I choose this path. Okay? And having perhaps a better claim. Yes, because he had decided and he felt that this path claims my aspect of traversing to the goal. So just a better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. There was grass all around, but when you keep on walking, you will find that the things that are those undergrowth, that moves off, that dies, and that path is made. If I can see sometimes the dry grass over there. But because it was grassy and wanted wear. So this was the unbeaten path that he chose. Just imagine his caliber, his courage, his perseverance. He didn't stop there. Oh my God, I can't go any further. Let me just back out. No. He went on. Though, as for that, the passing there had worn them really equally about the same. Both had been worn out, but he thought that this is the unbeaten path, and I will take this path, though it needs wear, and I will go ahead. So, therefore, he weighed the pros and cons, and he finally said, it is a fair chance of success, just as fair. Yes, I have a fair chance of success to reach my destination. So let me go. Okay? So it has made a difference, because the untrodden path gave him a better consequence. Okay? So that shows his qualities, his gumption. We normally speak in colloquial language, guts. Guts is not the right word. The right word is gumption. Gumption. So his gumption, his perseverance, his diligence, it's hard work. Okay? And his main thing is to attain the objective. Okay? I hope both these stanzas are quite clear. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. See, he's already taken the challenge. He didn't recede. He said, yes, it's a challenge for me and I will do the needful. I have the caliber, I'm going ahead. See the confidence. And confidence plays a very great role. So the confidence is important. Okay? And both that morning equally lay in leaves. You can understand this line. He came in the morning and he saw that the path was covered with leaves. It was a yellow wood, so the leaves had fallen off. And I think if you have observed, after some time, the leaves turn black. They become dry, they turn black, they become a part and parcel of the earth itself. So, that morning equally lay in leaves. Both the roads, there were leaves over there. No steps had trodden black. So, as you keep on walking, these leaves get crushed under the feet and they become black. So, no steps had walked or tread on both these roads. Yet, oh, I kept the first for another day! Exclamation. Oh, he says, yes, that I'll come some other day. This I've decided, so I'm going to walk the path. So, here exclamation has been used. This figure of speech, exclamation, explains how the poet is making an emphasis, telling you he's emphasizing. Not that one, this one. I have made my decision. Okay? With confidence, with gumption, and he's going to persevere on that path. Yet knowing how way leads on to way. Repetition. You've seen while you're driving, the road goes through the path, then it goes maybe on the outskirts of the city, then it reaches the thoroughfare, then it reaches the highway. So the path way leads on to way. He's sure that he's taken that path and it will carry on. He has to follow it. All that he has to do is, he has to use his common sense to see how he traverses that path. That's very important. Okay? Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back again. He's made his decision. But he said if he comes back, then maybe he would like to traverse this path and see what is in store for him. But right now, his decision is made and he's doing it confidently and persevering it all right. So therefore, he has not taken the much trodden path. It's really difficult to make a decision, but he has made it. And then he has also been aware of the fact that there will be a lot of obstacles, a lot of personal experiences, but confidently he says, I will do it. I will. Okay? The decision is made. There's a lot of uncertainty, this or that. But he overcomes that uncertainty also. Okay? He was aware of the problems. He knew that I will encounter a lot of problems. He was unsure. But he said, I will retrace my steps, but I will keep this road for another day. See how decided, well, this decision maker, and that's important to reach your goal always. Okay? Now let's go to the next stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh, a sense of relief. Yes, I went on that path, I traversed on that path, I reached my goal, and I did it quite well. I have done it. With a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, against repetition. Because normally we learn a lot through our experiences as well as through the experiences of others. So ages and ages hence, when maybe he'll be interviewed, he will definitely tell about his experiences. But with a sigh of relief, he'll say, yes, I made it. I reached the top. You know, Mount Everest was traversed by Hillary Tenzing 17 times. 17 times Hillary went up that, and in the 17th venture, he made it to the top. Didn't give up. I will do it. Come what may. And through experience he has learned, not this, that way. So experience teaches you a lot. So ages and ages hence, he will be able to say, two roads diverge in the wood. And I took the one less traveled by. Yes, I made my way on that unbeaten path and I reached my goal. Ha! Hurrah! Bravo! I did it. I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. It has made me what I am. It has made me a person in my own right. It has made me a person who has not imitated. I'm an individual and I'm going to do things in my own way, in my own right. Okay? So, he weighed the pros and cons. He took the challenge. He went ahead. So, that decision of going through the untrodden path has made a difference to his life. Okay? So always take chances and hope for the best. There are eventualities, they cannot be predicted, but if we make a decision, we should stand by it and reach the end. Okay? So, there's a quote that has come to my mind. Confidence is better than perfection. Confidence is better than perfection because perfection means doing the best. Confidence means knowing how to handle the worst. Confidence means knowing how to handle the worst. So life is like that, full of ups and downs. But if you have made a decision, if you have had the capacity, the caliber, you will definitely reach the goal. Come what may. And that is your right, your way of doing the best and showing that experience has helped you to do the best. So let us study the characteristic of the poet. Okay? He made his decision. He contemplated. Okay? He took the challenge. Okay? He knew his caliber. I will do it. That confidence was good enough. And he was self-righteous. Okay? And remember that he didn't do anything that was routine and ordinary. Okay? And always let us make ourselves aware that life is not smooth sailing. There are a lot of difficulties. And you've seen on a very stormy day, if you've seen a boat on the sea, you find how it keeps on moving up and down. So life is not smooth sailing. Of course, life is not a bed of roses. There are ups and downs. Okay? So just remember the message. You have to think for yourself. You have to make your decision. Okay? Be an individual in your own right. Have the confidence. Persist in your endeavor. Be diligent. Be disciplined. Be dedicated. And in all these efforts, you will definitely reach your goal and obtain your objective. Okay? So all this can be put down in a kind of a map. Like the contemplation over the choice, uncertainty even after the choice is made, then the unrealistic desire to tread the other road but some other day. And last of all, looking back, reflecting, he has made a significant selection of the road and reached his goal. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe.